Chairman, one of the training directors on my management team took a different approach. The company was gearing up for a new product rollout, and he and several of his colleagues were preparing to brief the executive team on the status of product training for the field staff. Knowing that their past training reports hadn't provoked much of a reaction from the executives, they stepped back and asked, "What do the executives really care about?" When Ben put himself into the shoes of the divisional executives, he realized that he wouldn't really care about how much training people attended. He would care about who knew their stuff and how ready people were to work with customers to sell and support the new products. He reoriented his entire approach around readiness instead of training. He and his staff introduced certification testing and actually encouraged people to self-study and test out of training if that allowed them to get up to speed faster. They reported on certification and readiness rather than training attendance. The executives started paying attention to the reports, pointing out where their data were incomplete, and working with them to ensure accuracy. The senior executives were now actively engaged because Ben and his team were making it easier for them to do their jobs, to make the right investments, to do the right thing for customers, and to hold their organizations and themselves accountable. That approach, though perhaps commonplace today, was novel at the time, and it changed the business. While others stayed busy, Ben made an impact. But this wasn't a one-time stroke of genius. Ben took setbacks in stride and treated problems as an opportunity to pivot and do something more valuable. It was easy to hand him the most challenging and vital work. Ben worked on my team for 10 years and had a couple of nicknames for me. One was simply Boss, and the other was Busy Lizzie, an apt description. It often made me wonder, was I just going through the motions of my job? Or was I having a real impact? Perhaps you've wondered why sometimes you make an impact at work, while other times your efforts get lost in the shuffle. Maybe you've been passed over for a leadership position and wondered why your colleague was tapped instead. While all people bring capability and intelligence to their jobs, much as in a card game, some seem to play their hand better than others. They develop a reputation as the impact players within an organization. Managers know who these top players are, and they understand their worth. Leaders come to depend on them and give them a steady stream of high-profile assignments and new opportunities. Their peers know who they are as well. Everyone seems to understand the value they contribute and can see the positive influence of their work. And these people seem to move through their careers with impact and purpose. I have been privileged to work with many of these superstars in my years as a corporate executive, and I've witnessed their positive influence on teams and across entire organizations. I've also seen how the impact of their work creates a more meaningful and fulfilling work experience for them. Yet, I've also noticed smart, talented people playing below their potential. It's hard to watch good people standing on the sidelines when you know they could be hitting home runs and winning championships. Most people have seen this dynamic. Two similarly capable individuals, both with talent and drive, but whose work is having a markedly different level of impact. But not everyone understands what causes this difference. You might even have found yourself in one of these positions and wondered about the mindset and behaviors that set two equally capable people apart. Corporate leaders sense the differences, but often can't articulate them. They usually know who the superstars are and want more of them, but they struggle to explain what actually makes them different. Typically, managers can articulate the more pronounced differences between their top and low performers. However, when it comes to their most influential, impactful players, the top of the top, there seems to be an ineffable quality about them. There's a certain je ne sais quoi in how they approach their jobs and an art form to the way that they contribute. Corporate HR and talent development professionals